What's up, guys? In today's video, we are going to cover how to get out of the FBA Multiple Destinations Program. If you don't know what that is, you may have been enrolled without you knowing about it, because I was. And I just figured it out last Friday. Me and Michaela did the FBA happy hour. We had Drew on. Someone asked a question, hey, how do you get out of the FBA Multiple Destinations Program? And I was like, I don't even know what that is. I have never heard of that. Neither of them have heard of it. So basically, it was just like, all right, like, we'll look into it. And then I got a couple of DMs that same day asking the same question. So maybe an email went out. I don't know. But whatever. And then when I Googled, there's a post that comes up from Watch Me Amazon. He did an Instagram post like 78 weeks ago talking about this program and why you should like not be in it. So I didn't really think much of it. I didn't have an email. So I was like, I'm definitely not in it. So I do a shipment yesterday or 2 days ago. It gets split into three different warehouses. Now that's kind of weird, just because every time I send a shipment, it usually goes to one warehouse, especially with the number of units I had. And also, the prep center's shipment went to three different warehouses. So I'm going to break down exactly what this program is, and then after that, I'll show you the page and I'll include the link below. And then I'll kind of go over what I learned and how I got out of the program. All right, so what is the FBA Multiple Destinations Program? I was unable to find this page by just Googling. So someone on Instagram that was following me sent it to me. And I'll include a link in the description in case you want to like see this or need to reference it. So what is it? So the program is designed to help reduce the time that it takes to receive your items and make them available for sale. So for those of you who don't know, when you send items to a fulfillment center, you typically will send all of them to one, and then Amazon's going to send them to multiple fulfillment centers. Not everything you send in stays at that fulfillment center. They basically send it to a fulfillment center that it has the best shot of selling or has the most demand for the customer who wants that product. So the important key here is eligible sellers are enrolled automatically and can opt out by contacting seller support. Now, I do not know what makes you eligible. It said, I guess it's invitation only. I did not get an email. I have an email account dedicated just to Amazon that has every single email I've gotten from Amazon since I started selling, and I have nothing in there. So that is kind of a little unsettling, but whatever. So how it works is basically when you create a shipping plan, like I said, they are going to send to three designated receiving centers. So when I did the shipment the other day, what happened was it would all go to one fulfillment center. And it always happened like that. And then the other day it split to three, which I thought was really weird. If anything, it usually splits to two. So it kind of got my wheels turning. So basically, that's what it's doing. And they are trying to give you a little benefit here. It says you're going to get rebates. So if you scroll down a little more, it says you would get 5 cents per unit for a small standard size, and for large, you get 9 cents per unit. And this is like how you could find out that you actually did get those discounts. And then how to opt out. So here it says you could contact seller support by email FBA ops MIPO at Amazon.com, and then you have to give them your merchant token. That is the last at the end, like your storefront ID, and you have to do that. So I did both of those things, and I didn't hear back from them. So that's why I called them. I'm going to kind of go over exactly what I learned from this whole process, how it even came about, and kind of how I ended up getting opted out of this program, and it wasn't from either of these ways. And this is just kind of, if you're in the Northeast, it'll probably go to these 3 warehouses. They kind of do a little breakdown of this. So yeah, and then there's some frequently asked questions down here. So I'm going to kind of jump in how I ended up getting out of this program, and basically what you could do if you want to opt out of this program, and why I think you should. All right, so that is what the program's all about. From my personal opinion, you should get out of this program. You're going to pay way more in shipping than you're going to get for the rebates. This is just kind of Amazon making their lives easier and not yours. That's okay. This is just part of selling on Amazon. So how did I get out of it? And I'm going to give you the biggest takeaways from this kind of experience that I had, and just kind of how you have to think about this kind of stuff in general. So how I ended up opting out is I had to call seller support. So really important about this. When I called seller support, the first person I talked to, they said, hey, we have to transfer you to the FBA team. We only have limited access. I'm like, okay, that's fine. They go to transfer me, the call drops. Kind of typically how this stuff kind of works for whatever reason. Call back. If you don't know how to get a call from Amazon, you just go into your seller app, and then you basically you could just kind of click, and then at the very bottom, they'll be like, contact us. And then you just hit that, and then you could hit other issues down below here. And then you just keep clicking basically until you get to the screen, and then you just switch it to phone. My phone number's in here. You just switch it to phone. You see it as like email phone up top. So you just switch it to phone, put your phone number, and hit call me now. So when I did that, so I call back, same thing. Hey, we got to transfer you to the team. This time around, I was like, hey, I need to speak to the FBA team. The call just dropped. They transfer me right away. So maybe just say you have to speak to the FBA team. They get on the phone. Really nice person. I say, hey, I want to know if I'm enrolled in the FBA Multiple Destinations Program. And because I just am assuming at this point, I can't figure out a way to tell. And the person says, hey, like, this program doesn't exist. Like, how do you even know about this? And I was just like, I didn't have an email, so I didn't really have anything to go off of. And I was like, I just want to make sure I'm not enrolled. I don't want to be enrolled in the program. And then they assured me that there is no such program. So how this all came about is someone on Instagram, like I said before, asked me about it, and they got the email. So I was like, hey, would you be able to forward me the email, or at least send me the link to the page that talks about this program? Because I have nothing to reference. So my plan was, if they're like, hey, how do you know about this? I would just, or they said that doesn't exist, I would give them the URL, be like, yeah, this does exist. So basically, get that URL, that brings you to the page that I just walked you through. And I was like, all right, here we go. So I call up, same deal. Okay, I got to transfer you. They transfer me to the person. This person is kind of looking into it more. And they put you on hold. It's really weird. It's almost like the call drops. Like, there's no wait music or anything. There used to be. So you just make sure you stay on the line. I really don't think Amazon like really ever hangs up on you. Like when the call ends, you got to be like, okay, thanks, bye. You got to hang up yourself. So do that, they're like, they would not admit that I was enrolled in the program, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. So I basically was like, am I enrolled? Because I don't want to be enrolled. Like, you be very clear, you don't want to be enrolled in the program if that's kind of what you want to do. Your business, you can make your own decisions. So I was like, how do I get unenrolled? And they were just like, I don't even know what they said, that the phone cut off or whatever. And I was like, like, how do I do this? And then she's like, we got to put you in contact with another team. They will send you an email after after they do it. It's going to take 28 to 48 hours. I said, okay, great. Can you email me? Like, send this to me in an email. She was like, no, because it's going to another team. And I was like, okay, do you have a case ID for this? So she gave me a case ID. So this is always important. Always try to grab a case ID or get them to email you like what's going on. This way you have some kind of record of it. So literally like 5 minutes after the call, I get 3 emails from Amazon. One kind of saying, hey, we're transferring you to this team. The second one was saying that you're unenrolled from this program. So I am now unenrolled in this program. I need to see the next shipment I do or the prep center does, make sure it doesn't go to 3 places, because it seems that's what they want to do from what we read. So what are some takeaways from this? Biggest one, be connected, be watching content, network with people. If me and Michaela didn't do that Friday happy hour show, or I wasn't on Instagram, I probably would have no idea. I would just think that my shipments are getting split. If I just kind of worked by myself and didn't like interact with the community, I'd have no idea. And I'd be wasting tons of money shipping to 3 different warehouses. So always important to get connected, reach out to people. Don't be afraid to be like, hey, can you send me that link? I'm trying to get this sorted out. And they confirmed that, it was hard to opt out. So, I just have more information that it's like, okay, it was hard for this person. I got to be more persistent. Number 2, if something seems off in your business, definitely look into it. I've been selling on Amazon for a long time. And I've sent in a lot of shipments myself, and my prep center has sent in a lot of shipments. And they have never been split 3 ways, ever. And it was just like, I got these DMs. Someone asked about it on Friday. Did the shipment on Tuesday. The prep center does theirs on Wednesday. And all of them split 3 ways. I mean, I didn't know that they send to 3 destinations prior to getting the link to the page we went over. But it just made me think. I was like, maybe I really am in this program. Don't have the email, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna call them. Usually, so I opened a case with Amazon, they didn't get back to me. I did the email thing, they didn't get back to me. So if something seems off in your business, definitely look into it. It could be anything. Maybe it was nothing, maybe I wasn't enrolled and it just happened to split, but something just seemed off, so I looked into it more. Did I want to spend the last 1 to 2 hours doing this? No. That's why I'm making this video for you. So hopefully you could knock it out in one call. Number 3 on this is you have to be persistent with Amazon. It is really hard. Like you could see from the progression of this video, I called them once, they hung up. I called them twice, they say there's no program. Well, obviously I know there was one because there are emails floating around out there that this went out. But I was like, okay, like I need to get, so I was almost like, I'm just going to say, okay, I guess there's no program. But in my head, I was like, that makes no sense because people got emails. So maybe there has to be something to this. And I just couldn't find it through a Google search. But then being connected with this person on Instagram, I was able to finally get it done and call them and be like, when they said, I'm like, no, there's a program. Like, I'm looking at the page right now. They're like, oh, okay, let me see. And they never admitted that I was enrolled. So it just seemed like really weird. But being very like, hey, I want to be unenrolled. Be very clear about it. Hey, send me something. Let me get a case ID. Now I have in writing that I am unenrolled in the program. So you have to stay on top of Amazon. It's super frustrating. Again, this took like an hour, hour and a half. Hopefully, this is only going to take you one phone call. I would probably suggest you check out and make sure you're not enrolled, or just have a lookout if your shipments are splitting 3 different ways or splitting more than they usually do. Definitely call and be like, hey, am I enrolled in this? Search your email for multiple FBA Multiple Destinations Program. See if they sent you the email. And then I think the best way is going to be to call them. It's not going to be opening a case and doing an email, because I did that stuff yesterday. That was another thing. When I didn't get an email back from seller support, they're usually pretty quick. I was like, something's weird here. So that is the FBA Multiple Dimensions Program, how I ended up getting out of it. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, down below is a tank checklist to avoid price tanking. I gave you a little checklist totally free. And I will see you guys in the next video.